Okay, so to add a new port to our load balancer, so for now we enabled the security group so that we can directly get a connection refused error, okay, once we connect to the load balancer's 8080/ingredient of our security group here. Okay, so what we're gonna do is here we're gonna create another security target group, and we set another listener, and we're pointing to another security group's instance, but the port number should be 8080. Okay, so the process is very straightforward. And firstly, we need to create a new target group. Okay, just create a new target group and select instances. And here we can just change it to 8080. VPC is supposed to be this one. Okay, so the 2AZ one. We use that one, and then go back to everything is good name. Okay, so this name is, let's just call it ingredient REST API target group. Okay, and then next, we have to select the instance that we want to combine to this. We don't need to select anything. Okay, we can just put 8080 there, and then we can just create a target group. Okay, and now there's nothing there. Okay, so for this one, we have a 000, and this one we have a 330, right? So because this is the 81, this is the 8081, and now what we do is we already have a target group. Okay, so we can just copy paste here, and we have a new target group without any node. Okay, so but I want to link to this auto scaling group to let this auto scaling also create the node in both target groups. Okay, so in that case, we can achieve the new listener. Okay, from this load balancer to this target group. One is 80, one is 8080. Okay, right. So what we do is let's go to our auto scaling groups. Okay, and then here let's open it, and then we can go to load balancer. Okay, and edit it. So here the load balancer application network, load balancer target group. Okay, so for here we can just choose both of them. Okay, and it will tell us one of your target group is not associated with any load balancer. Okay, because we just create a target group, we didn't create listener to forward the request. Basically, we just create this thing, and now we try to create this thing, right? This line, but it will tell us that you don't have this line, right? There's no load balancer forward to this target group. Specifically, what you're doing like some work that doesn't make sense. Okay, so either we just go ahead and create, it doesn't matter because later on we're going to create, or we can firstly create the listener first. Okay, just open the load balancer here and choose it, and then create a new listener. Okay, so this listener will be from our 8080 forward the request to the second target group, which is this one here. Okay, and the weight is 100%. And then add. Okay, so now we should be good to go. Okay, so 80 port forward to 80, 8080 forward to 8080, and then back to here. Okay, you can select this one. Okay, let's refresh it. Okay, and then it's gone, the error. Okay, and then we can update. Okay, so at this moment, I'm not sure whether it will automatically assign the instances there. Let me check. It's not assigned. Oh, it is assigned actually. Let's see what's going on in the dashboard. Okay, and no new instance is created, right? So no new EC2 instance are creating. We still have those three. Okay, and in the target group, okay, if we select this and open this, okay, you can see here now there's an instance being initializing. Okay, and in another security group, there are already 3 targets being initialized. Okay, and so what is happening here is, okay, why it's draining. Once we change the architecture, so the auto scaling will try to rearrange everything, so it will just put the instances, okay, to both target groups. Okay, so there could be some shutdown and creating mechanism happening. Okay, so that is a normal process, and let's wait for it to be settled, and then we'll be back and see what's gonna happen. Okay, so you can see now one of the server is gone, and then later on we're gonna have 3 servers stable, and in both target group we have both of all of those 3 instances. Okay, be ready. All right, I will pause the video and we'll be back soon. One thing I realized, actually 2 things I realized that I made a mistake. First is the new target group. The health check is the traffic port, which is 8080 and the slash. So in this case, it will always give us 404 because we didn't declare port 8080 slash API, right? So we can just change this one to our ingredient API. Okay, so and save the change so that our health check can go through. Okay, for the 8080, or otherwise we can change it to port 80, but that is could be down here. Here we can override to 80 and then change to slash health. Okay, so both way is okay, but just don't make the same mistake. Like don't use port 8080 slash, that we don't have that API in our system. So in our application we write the code. So that's why it's showing me the unhealthy all the time. That's the first observation. The second observation is very weird. It happened again for me. So the capacity just changed to 1 automatically. Maybe this is the desired behavior. I don't know, because it's just like previously we set it to 3, and then when I refresh the page, it becomes to 1 again. So the instance is still healthy, but we only have 1 instance now. Okay. But it's okay in 1 instance, 3 instances. At this moment, it doesn't matter. We can change it to 3 later on. But this health check is more important, right? Because if it's unhealthy, then there's no way we can send our request to. Okay, so if we send this request, it will give us bad gateway. Okay, bad gateway is a very important error. Once you see get bad gateway, that mainly because the backend service it is not available. Okay, so the error is returned from the load balancer, tell you that the backend service is not available. Okay, so this is the 502. Okay, HTTP status code. And now let's wait for a little bit so that hopefully this health check will go through, and then we will see. Okay, because this original one is always okay. Okay, you can see now it's showing 3. It shouldn't be 3. It should be 1. Because we have only 1 server up now. Okay, now it's 1. Okay, and here this one is still showing unhealthy. Let's just click in and to wait for the health check to finish. Okay, I'll pause the video and we'll be back. All right, so now it's showing healthy. So now our layout is like this. Okay, even though it has some weird behavior which I didn't expect. First is the desired capacity is 1, and so means that like we are desiring only 1 instance here. Okay, in this both target group, and then the auto scaling load balancer here, we have now 2 listeners. One is 80, which is forward to our this first target group. The second is 80, and we will forward to the second target group. Okay, and if you look at target groups, okay, so the first target group has 1 healthy target. Okay, and the second target group will also has 1 healthy target. Okay, so if we look at now this one, okay, it's still giving bad gateway. Okay, so which is not expected. Okay, so the 80 port is okay. 8080. Okay, it's bad gateway for this one. Ingredient. Okay, still bad gateway. So it means that the health check is working, but when we really send this request to the server still returns some issue. Okay, so bad gateway issue. There could be potentially two I can think of. One is our backend server, okay, is not up, like the Docker inside this EC2 is not running. The second is our security group doesn't allow us to access the AT port, okay, which is not the case because we already set the 8080 port, so from like all over the world, okay. So because if the security group issue, then it will just start like rotating instead of just give error here, okay. So I'm suspecting there must be the Docker container is not up and running, okay. Let's give a quick check. So how to check the instance, because since it doesn't have a public IP address, so what we can do is we can assign a public IP address to it, because it's actually in the public subnet, okay. How we can do that is we can go to the network and we not here, okay. So to go to the networking, and then we can manage IP address, okay. So then here we can assign a new IP address to it, okay. But in order to do that, we have to assign a elastic IP address. Just click on here, allocate, okay, a public IP address. Let's see, this one we can use maybe. If it's not associated, then that is perfect. So we can use this. If not, then we can just click on the allocate elastic IP address. A new elastic IP address can be created from here. Just click on allocate and just keep everything the same, and then just click on allocate. So then you're gonna get a new one. Okay, and we can just stop this, and we're gonna get 3 of them. If you don't use it, just remove it. Okay, so don't keep it in your account. That will charge you if you don't allocate it or associate it to an instance. Okay, you can just release. Okay, so that it will be gone. And here I can attach or associate, okay, my IP address, elastic IP address, with our instance, and that's gonna be our this one, okay, without any name, and then associate. Okay, after everything is done, then we go back to the EC2 dashboard, and then we will see the IP address is associated here. Okay, so now at this moment we can go and SSH to it. Okay, so just change the IP address, and it's hanging. Okay, so not connecting is because the security group. Okay, so here, and the security group added inbound and SSH. Okay, make sure allow my IP address to connect in. All right, so immediately it will show me connected, and yes. Okay, so now run docker ps. Let's see how it goes. Okay, so both of them are running, okay, correctly. That's expected behavior, because the image we created should have has this behavior. So both of them are actually working there. Okay, so let's just check the log, docker logs, and the ingredient API. Okay, so then this is the issue. It's not connecting to the database. Okay, so even though the Docker is up and is keep restarting itself, I can see up 5 seconds. So the log is showing that the database connectivity is blocked. Okay, so it means that our database is not connecting, from the server to the database. Now let's check out RDS. RDS is here. Okay, and this is the RDS, and take a look at the security group. Okay, and this is the security group ID, inbound rules, and let's edit, see what's going on. Okay, the inbound rule saying that, okay, this RDS only allow my IP address from home. We don't need this. We'll just delete it. And then we need we have this security group can access, okay, to here. But let's see what security group our EC2 instance are in. Okay, and the EC2, go to here and then security group, and this is a 9F5C. Okay, go back to here, which is the wrong one, right? So here is the issue. Let's just add a new one, Aurora, MySQL, and then security group. Let's choose this one. Okay, 955C, 9F5C. Right, save, and then this should solve the issue. Okay, so because our Docker images keep restarting itself, so we don't need to touch anything. All the server should fix by itself. And now let's just take a look at the log. Okay, you can see now it started, right? So this connection is on. And now go back to our API, hit enter, and yeah, finally we got the answer. Okay, so this is the debug process. Okay, the road is very bumpy. If you followed my tutorials, maybe not as fine polished as other tutorials online, but the experience comes from the errors or come from the debug process. Okay, so hopefully you get the idea. Most of the issue we encountered are related to the networking connection, right? So related to the security groups, related to the overall architecture designs. Once we have a big clear picture of what to do, then to fix the issue is just a step-by-step and a time consuming, okay, task. So there's no challenge at all, but the only thing is we need to fix one thing at a time. Okay, and the last is we need to enlarge the server, right? So this auto scaling only keeps only one desired, and now we can just add it and then change it to 4, for example, and update. Okay, so activity here, it should give us this pre, okay, in service, and the 3 server now will start running. Okay, and three more instances should be start creating here. Let's just wait for a little bit. And now we're gonna have like 4 of this EC2 instance, and we're gonna have 2 target group, have both of the instance, all of the instances in both of the target groups. Okay, serving 2 ports. Okay, with 2 applications in this whole auto scaling group. And what we didn't do is we have to set up a policy. Okay, so here how you scale, okay, your instance based on what kind of policy. This is a very simple, easy to understand, right? So the policy based on your usage, based on your traffic, or based on your schedule. Then if you can manually change the size, then auto scaling group can of course change the size according to some conditions. Okay, so that we won't test it, because test the load, I have to use a very powerful CPU or computer to send a lot of requests to make sure those are very busy. Then it can be increased. But you got the idea. So that's the part. Maybe you can do it on your own if you already figure out everything here. So now you can see we have 4 servers now up and running, initializing, not running yet. But our auto scaling group will also have those 4 servers. Okay, and oops. Okay, so that's the last part. We don't need to test because now everything is working. So even though we have 4 servers, 1 server, everything is working fine. All right, so now in the end, you have to delete everything. Okay, don't keep it in your account. Otherwise, those many servers will just run all of your credit out. Okay, so make sure that you, after you test it, you fail it, and then just remove everything. Okay, how to do it? Just you can delete this auto scaling. Okay, just delete this, and then it will delete all the instances. Okay, inside this auto scaling group, but the load balancer, okay, and the target group, those won't be deleted. So just to make sure that you manually delete those. Okay, and if you have elastic IP address, make sure you deassociate. Okay, or release it. So first deassociate it and then release it. Okay, release it to the pool for other people to use. Don't keep it on your own. And also this is money, so it will charge you. Okay, and that's the last thing. Okay, you have to clean up, otherwise the cost will go up, and we don't want any unexpected billing from AWS. Okay, so the free is not unlimited. You have to keep this in mind. Okay? Once your database is done, and then just delete them, because creating a new one won't take you like 5 minutes, but if you keep them running there, it will cost you some money. So just make sure that you just delete, okay, all the instances. Okay, created there. Cannot delete the snapshot because snapshot with the identifier as if it already exists. Okay, so I think we need to delete this snapshot first. Okay, and then we delete the database. Okay, RDS. All right, so this is deleting, and then this one we can also delete it. Okay. Especially like, you know, tomorrow is a weekend. I don't want to keep this running for like 2 days without doing anything. So we just, you know, clean up all the resources. Okay, you can see now we have 4 servers running, and the auto scaling group is still deleting them. Okay, so I'll pause the video, and after everything is deleted, I'll just double check again, and then we're good to go. Okay, so everything is deleted, and if we refresh the auto scaling groups, and it will just show us this front page. There's no list anymore. Target group is gone, and delete the load balancer as well. So you have to delete the load balancer first, then delete the target groups. Okay, and then the instances are also gone. Okay, you can see all the terminated stopped ones that we had before, but only the one running, which is our example. Okay, so this one we also don't need it, but because this is not managed by by the auto scaling group, so we can manually terminate this one. Okay, so the only thing left for me is this AMI. Sorry, so this image. Okay, so if I want, I can easily bring it back by using this AMI. And also we have a launch template. Those are not, you know, need to be deleted because we still have other training. We have so next we're gonna talk about the ECR, and sorry, ECS, and we're gonna use ECS to make the whole process even easier. Okay, so then that wraps all the previous sessions about auto scaling, EC2, VPC, RDS. And next we're going to talk about ECS, S3, and also the SQS, SNS, and Lambda. Okay, thanks. I'll see you next video.